with firearms and explosives now. However, we still deal with the alcohol and tobacco. We just deal with the diversion part of it, okay? So the diversion part meaning that people are taking and going across state lines, or they're trying to elude paying taxes on alcohol and tobacco. So for instance, I'm in Georgia. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, but I've been here in Georgia for maybe about 30 years now, maybe. I've been down here. A pack of cigarettes in Philadelphia, let's say they may be about $5.50. I'm sorry, in Philadelphia they may be about $12. Here in Georgia, they're like $5.50. So people would come down here, buy cigarettes, and then go up there and sell them, especially like New York, because the taxes are high on it. So it could be $18 a pack there, where down here is only $7 a pack. So by you crossing state lines, not paying taxes on it, and you're selling, then that's when you got to have a license with ATF, and you're doing a diversion, and you're doing an illegal activity with these cigarettes. Same thing with alcohol. When alcohol is made, you can make alcohol for yourself. You can make wine and everything. But once you start making a certain amount and cross the state lines and selling it, then that's when you got to have a license with ATF. Same thing now with firearms and with explosives, we deal with that. We have a regulatory side and we have a criminal side. Okay. ATF, we're really a small agency. It's about 5,000 of us total. So it's about 2,500 special agents, maybe about 700 investigators, maybe about 750 industry operations investigators. Then we have our intel research specialists. They are the backbone of the agency. They are the ones that do all of our analytical work. So I know you guys watch your CSIs and your NCISs, and that one person is there and she's typing up all the information, and she can look at a person's cell phone and see where they're at or anything like that. That's what our intel research specialists do, along with other things. And we also have our lab. So our lab, they collect our evidence, and they do analysis, and they make determinations from there. And then we also, like I said, we have the special agents, we have the industry operations investigators, and we have our support staff. So we are made up of many different components. However, like I said, we're real small, but we fall right. We under DOJ. We right where ATF is, and we right where FBI is, DEA. Everybody knows about FBI, DEA, or anything like that, but nobody really knows about ATF and what we do. So I'm going to show you a short little video and let you know about what ATF do. All the components that come up together. Like I said, I've been with ATF for 23 years. I started off as an industry operations investigator, meaning that I handle the business side of the house. So with the business side of the house, anybody who makes or sells explosives and firearms, they have to get a license with ATF, and we do their compliance inspections. So I'm quite sure you guys, when you guys go out to eat, you go to a restaurant, you'll see like a score, and you see the health and food inspector was there, and they was inspecting, make sure the french fries is not too hot, or the kitchen is clean, or there's no dirty ice in the ice machine. We basically do the same thing, but when it comes to firearms and explosives, we make sure that firearms are made correctly, we make sure they're sold correctly, they're manufactured correctly, and same thing with explosives. We make sure that they're made, stored, and packaged properly. Okay. Don't worry about not knowing everything once you become an investigator or a special agent, because you're going to learn everything in school. Special agents, they go away to school for about 7 months. Industry operations investigators, we go away for about 3 months. Now, the special agents handle the criminal side of the house. They are the face of the agency, because they are the ones that's handling all the criminal activity that have to do with alcohol and tobacco. That's the diversion I was telling you about, and the illegal use of firearms and explosives. Okay, so anytime we come up on the scene, please believe that we've done our research before we come and knock on your door. And if you are like a convicted felon, and you know you're not supposed to have a firearm, but somebody told that you had a firearm, or you used it in a crime, that's when our special agents and agents and everything come in. Okay, so let me just show you a little video about what ATF do, and we can go from there. Ms. Monica, let me know if you can see my screen. We're going to try this again.
All right.
All right. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I see your screen.
Perfect. Okay. And I am going to go ahead and play the video.
Can you hit hide on that sharing
ATF,
message?
world-class law enforcement organization committed to safeguarding lives by protecting the public from violent crime. We do this by combating violent crime through focusing on illegal firearms trafficking, dismantling violent street gangs, regulating the firearms and explosives industries, solving crimes involving arson and explosives, breaking up tobacco trafficking schemes, and providing worldwide support to law enforcement, public safety, and industry partners. Our focus is reducing violent crime in America. Illegal firearms, the tools of the trade that drug traffickers, gang members, and other criminals use to commit violent crimes in our nation's cities and towns. ATF special agents identify, investigate, and arrest individuals and organizations that illegally supply firearms to individuals who cannot legally possess them. More than 90% of ATF's investigations involve firearms-related charges. Through innovative enforcement strategies, targeted use of technology, and risk-based inspections of federal firearms licensees, ATF deters the diversion of firearms to illegal markets and prohibited persons. ATF also works with the firearms industry, providing compliance guidance and ensuring industry-wide adherence to laws and regulations ATF administers. ATF also partners with state and local law enforcement to reduce gun crime through an intelligence-driven approach. By analyzing firearms-related intelligence gathered at ATF's crime gun intelligence centers, we can identify the locations and opportunities of firearms traffickers and trigger pullers responsible for the most significant firearms-related violent crime. ATF also works hand in hand with local and state law enforcement in training, information sharing, and tip-of-the-spear techniques to keep neighborhoods safe. ATF leverages technology to combat violent crime. Firearms recovered at crime scenes from across the country can be traced to the first retail purchaser by our National Tracing Center, providing leads for investigation. Additionally, the National Integrated Ballistics Information Network, or NIBIN, facilitates sharing crime gun evidence across federal, state, local, tribal, and international law enforcement agencies to establish otherwise unknown links between violent crimes, solving crimes, and preventing others. The NIBIN database has 2.5 million images of ballistic evidence and grows daily. To combat illegal firearms trafficking facilitated by the internet, ATF established the Internet Investigation Center. A highly skilled and specialized team identifies illegal firearms trafficking occurring online and provides actionable intelligence to relevant ATF field divisions for investigation. Industry operations investigators conduct inspections of the firearms and explosives industry. They determine if applicants who want to enter business in the regulated industries meet established legal requirements for obtaining a federal permit or license. They conduct interviews, inspect premises and inventory, and perform background investigations to determine applicant and licensee suitability. IOIs support ATF's law enforcement mission by identifying suspicious firearms purchasing patterns and detecting illegal firearms trafficking. ATF also has a number of outstanding programs and services that support our critical mission. The Special Response Team is a group of highly trained tactical agents who perform high-risk law enforcement operations. Certified fire investigators, accelerant and explosives detection canines, and forensic auditors provide a comprehensive team of experts for investigating and solving arson. The Fire Research Laboratory can recreate significant fire-related events to determine how fires begin and spread. The lab also houses fire protection engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and technicians, and provides the necessary facilities, equipment, and staff to work on and research criminal fire investigations. Our forensic chemists and investigative auditors provide crucial support by processing evidence, conducting audits in criminal investigations, and testifying in court as expert witnesses. ATF's National Response Team can respond to fire or explosives incidents within 24 hours. 3 teams positioned across the country can assist state and local partners with origin and cause determination and provide investigative and logistical support. Preventing the criminal use of explosives is one of the core missions of ATF. The National Center for Explosives Training and Research serves as the Bureau's focal point for explosives research, training, and intelligence to safeguard the public and reduce deaths and injuries from explosives, crimes, and accidents. The center specializes in the areas of explosives investigation and identification, materials disposal, destruction device classification, and the application and effects of explosive products. Certified explosive specialists are ATF's primary resource in explosives-related matters. CESs are special agents who are highly trained in explosives investigations, explosives materials disposal, and all facets of the commercial explosives industry. They conduct investigations into violations of the federal explosives laws and support the efforts of ATF, state, and local investigators. The United States Bomb Data Center is a nationwide repository for information about suspicious fires, arsons, and criminal explosives incidents. Law enforcement from around the world can tap into this valuable resource. Supporting these programs and our employees in the field are a steadfast group of administrative and professional staff who ensure the men and women of ATF have what they need to carry out our mission across the country. We value people, partnerships, and justice. We are ATF, protecting the public, serving our nation.
All right, now let me see, where am I over here? Okay. Here we go. All right, as you can see, guys, we do a lot of stuff. Every day is something different. As being an investigator, it'd be some days where I'm doing a firearms compliance inspection in the morning, and then I do an explosive inspection in the afternoon. Or you could be out and you might get called out to assist with if there was a theft or anything out like that. Like I said, don't worry about it. You will go away for training, because when I started, I didn't know anything about hold on, I'm trying to get rid of that. Okay. I didn't know anything about explosives. I didn't know anything about firearms or anything like that. And in fact, you know, back in the day when I started, we had computers, but we didn't have, like, the internet was just starting. So we didn't have Google or nothing like that. So I had to go to the library and get an index card and go to get an encyclopedia to see who ATF was and what ATF did. Okay, so I still didn't understand who ATF was or what ATF did. I left Philadelphia in 1994, and I came down to Atlanta, Georgia to attend Morris Brown College. And when it was almost my senior year, I was walking down the hall. My director, she stopped me in the hallway. So it's very, very important for you guys to know your teachers, your counselors, and because they will go to bat for you. And she stopped me and she said, ATF is hiring. I think you need to apply. So I said, okay, but her her office hours was only from 3 to 5. You could not talk to her about this. So by her stopping me, I was flattered. I was honored, because she stopped class and stopped me while I was walking in the hallway. So I went to her office, got there at 3 o'clock, and I said, I'm here for an application. And she said, I never said I had an application for you. I have a phone number. So I had to call, introduce myself. I came to ATF. I did an interview on the spot, and I was told about the special agent position. At that time, I had a boy and a girl, and then I was told about the industry operations investigator position. We were called inspectors back then. So I decided to take the inspector one because, just like how I'm doing now with you with the information session, no one really explained to me the depth of the job. So I didn't understand about being a special agent. All I heard was that they had to be on call 24/7. Yes, they all on call. So they get a 25% increase on top of their pay because they all on call 24/7. However, it could be times of the day where they might have a 3 a.m. call. You might not have a 3 a.m. call. They're just on call just in case something happens. So nobody really explained that to me. So all I thought is that I had to be at work 24 hours. So that wasn't explained to me. But by me coming over to being an investigator, it's something that I've loved. I enjoy it. We've been working from home for a while now before COVID came, but we are field people, special agents and then investigators. We go out all the time. We are never in the office. We might come in, pick up our cases, make some copies, but we're back out in the field. Okay. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go over. Okay, let me know if my screen comes up again. Okay, I'm going to do hide.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Everything looks good.
Great. Okay, so I call this the special agent information session. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to talk about many positions within ATF, but this is a special agent position. So this is the more extensive one that you have to go through. Okay, so I'm part of the regional recruitment team. And I just want to give you a little brief history of ATF. Like I told you before, ATF is comprised of agents, special agents, investigators, auditors, and support personnel who are involved in investigating the most violent criminals and regulate the firearms, explosive, alcohol, and tobacco industries. Okay, ATF was established in 1972 and extends back to the early days of the United States. As a criminal investigator, you're going to conduct investigations of federal violations related to firearms, explosives, arson, alcohol, and tobacco and diversion. So this is the criminal investigator. You're going to be doing criminal investigations. So anybody who's doing illegal activity with these things, this is what the special agent does. When you're trying to sell it and you following the rules and regulations to the general public, that's where I come in at, the investigators. So like you go to a pawn shop or a gun shop. If I go to a gun shop, I'm doing inventory on their firearms. If they say in their record, because they everybody who makes firearms and everybody who receives firearms when they have a license ATF, they have to log it into a book or in the computer. So they have to log in what they got in. You got to write out what you got out. It's checks and balances. Just like how you do your checkbook or how you look at your banking account, whatever paycheck you get in, and then you take away whatever bills you got to pay. So if I come in and they say they got 50 guns, I need to see 50 guns. If I see 48, where's those other two? So normally it's either in the paperwork or it's at a different shelf, or you know they might have mistakenly didn't sign it out or anything like that. So you give them time to find it. Other than that, they can get a violation. You have to report it as theft, lost, or stolen, or they probably can lose their license for having missing firearms or explosives. So as that's for the investigator part. The criminal investigator part, if you violate any of the federal violations, you know you are going to be, you have to go to court and you will have criminal charges against you. So you're going to prepare and execute search warrants. This is what the special agents do. You're going to interview suspects. You're going to make arrests. You're going to seize evidence. You're going to prepare criminal case reports. You testify in federal, state, and local courts, and you're going to participate in many training programs. One thing I can say about ATF is that we do have a lot of training. I am the training coordinator here in the Atlanta Field Division. So the guys and girls, they get training every quarter on firearms, flying while armed, taser certification. We have roll call like every 6 months. We have extensive training, explosive training, everything. Basic qualifications. Now, this is to work for ATF, and this is what to be a special agent. To be a federal employee, you know you must be a U.S. citizen. Okay, so that's for all positions. You must be a U.S. citizen. To be a special agent, you must be sworn in by your 37th birthday. That's for the special agent position. The rest of the positions, there's no age requirement. But special agents have a 20-year retirement, meaning that you have to do 20 years and you have a mandatory retirement at 57. So they have to retire at 57. Industry operations investigators, intelligent research specialists, the lab, we do not have a retirement age out. So we can stay as long as we can read and write. However, special agents have to do 20 years and they have to be out at 57. You must be able to possess a current valid automobile operation license. Everybody got to have a driver's license because in the special agent and an investigator position, you will be given a car. Okay, so they're going to give you, ATF is going to give you everything that you need to do to perform your job. They're going to give you a credit card, you're going to get a badge or a seal, you're going to get clothes, belts, you even get down to shoes, to your boots. They're going to give you everything to perform your job. So you're also going to get a car. To be a special agent, you must be qualified to carry a firearm. Don't worry about not knowing how to shoot or anything. You will go to school to learn how to shoot. And you will sign a mobility statement. Now, that's just saying that anytime during your career with ATF, you may have to move for the need of the agency. So far, I've been here in Atlanta my whole 23 years. However, 2 years from now, let's say another department might need help. So, and if people don't volunteer to go, we can't get anybody to go, they might draft you over to go. So you will sign a mobility statement. Mainly, I see it in special agents when you get up into management. Once you get into management, you normally get switched around so you can, supervise other offices other than where you came in from. Okay, so to be a special agent, okay, you have so many factors you can do, just like being an investigator, an IOI. You are not just going to come to work every day and say, okay, I'm going to just be an IOI. It's so many avenues you could do. So being a special agent, I know like in our office, our special agent in charge, he's the head. He's all over, the head covers all over Georgia. He likes for you to be out in the field at least 3 to 5 years so you can know the job as a field agent before you can apply to be something else. So you could also be a certified fire investigator. You could be a certified explosive specialist. You could become an undercover agent. All agents don't go undercover. You could become an undercover agent. You could be a technical operations officer. You could be a public information officer. I've done that for 2.5 years. You handle the media. You do press conferences, press releases. You work with production companies when it's time to do shows like For My Man or something like that. You could be a polygraph examiner, special response team. You could be a medic. You could be a profiler, or you could be a canine handler. We have canine handlers also. With me being an industry operations investigator, in 2017, I became the special operations officer, where I handled the day-to-day duties of the field division, which I was in charge of agent cashier, meaning that everyone, they get their cash, make sure they're paying their criminal informants correctly, making sure that money is spent correctly on what it's supposed to be spent on. I was the recruiter there. I became the public information officer. Like I said, I handled the media and everything, and I'm the training coordinator, make sure everyone gets their training and put their scores into the system. And it was so many areas that you could do. I was the EROD, which is the Explosive Release of Disabilities coordinator. So that's anybody who handles with explosives. Before 9/11, to purchase explosives, all you had to do was fill out a form and go through a background check and get your explosives. Now everyone has to have a license to have it. So some people were grandfathered in, but some people, they need to, they got in trouble when they was younger, and now they're working with the explosive field. So they have to get their background check, and they have to get approved to work with the explosives. So I was that coordinator. It's so many areas that you can do. Now, I know everybody saw Men in Black. Okay, so I put this up there because I know how we remember how Agent K and Agent J. So Agent J went and he recruited Agent K, and he was out there and he watched him and he watched how he performed and saw how he would be a great leader in the agency to take over his place. That's what I'm here to do. I'm to make sure that I am the recruiter. I'm going to tell you all about ATF, how to get inside, and if you're interested, want to apply. We're going to have some announcements to come out soon. And I'm telling you, that's going to be the last agency that you will ever apply for. Now, to become a special agent, it's a lengthy process. So it used to take about 3 years to get on, 3 to 4 years. When I first started, man, people were on a waiting list. They had, people accepted other jobs because they waited so long. But like I said, we are a small agency. It's only but so much that we could do. And we was on a hiring freeze for a while. Okay. So now it's taking about 18 months for the entire process from the time you apply to the time you get on. Okay. And because it's different steps and it's different ways to get on. So what you would do first is that you would let me know. And then it's so many ways that the office changes it, because before you used to have to come to an information session and get a link to apply. Now, if you keep in contact with me, I will let you know when the announcement is coming out. And sometimes it's on our website or it'll be on USA Jobs. Then you will fill out the application. You're going to put your resume and everything in. Once you fill out that application, and once you apply for that and you pass the assessment, your next thing is going to be your written exam. Okay, so your written exam, that is your special agent exam. We have some examples online. We can't tell you what books and anything to read, but there are some special agent books out there that will give you a heads up. It's just all about comprehension, problem solving, judgment, those type of things. Then after your written exam, once you pass that, you're going to have your physical test. Okay, we're going to go over that in a minute. You're going to have your PTT. After your PTT, you're going to have a panel interview. After your panel interview, you're going to get your letter, your notice saying, hey, okay, congratulations, you made it this far. Fill out the information. Then you're going to do your polygraph, your medical exam, your background investigation. Then you're going to enter on duty, and then you're going to report to your new orientation, and then you're going to go ahead and go to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. Industry operations investigators, our process is not this lengthy. You're going to go through the application, then you're going to go to the panel interview, then you go, we don't have a polygraph, you'll have a background check, and then you're enter on duty. So we don't have to go through all these steps. That's the investigators. We don't have to have a written exam, but you will take a writing sample during your panel interview, just to know that you know how to write a sentence or a paragraph. We don't do polygraphs, but you do still get a background investigation. We don't do physical tests because, you know, we won't be running after anybody or anything, but you must be able to like lift or push, I think that between 35 to 50 pounds, because you will be looking at the firearms, reading the serial numbers. Same thing with explosives. It might be a box of dynamite that you might have to look at and just get the information and everything off of. Special agent training, like I said, you're going to be down there for almost 7 months. You're going to go to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. You're going to go 3 months in criminal investigation training program. So that's your CITP. You'll be down there with other, all federal agencies are down here at Flexi except for FBI. And I think DEA, I think they're up in Quantico. And then you're going to go to 4 months. You're going to be at special agent basic training. You're going to learn all about the programs and all the databases that ATF has to offer. Industry operations investigators, IOIs, we go for 3 months, and we're only doing basic training, and we are learning all the ins and outs and how to do compliance inspections and application inspections. Now, this is what I was telling you about. If you're interested in becoming a special agent, this is the number one thing that people are failing. Everyone is failing the physical test, polygraph. Polygraph is simple. Answer the question, best way you know how, be truthful and honest about it. They ask you a question, tell them what you did, how you did it, and don't lie about it, because you don't want anything to come back in your background and you try to elude anything, because you know that's going to be your integrity. So your polygraph is all up on you, how you answer it and what you've done in the past. Now, as far as the PTT, I'm giving you the answer to the test right now. As you can see right now, let's say if you are a male between the ages of 21 and 29, you have 12 minutes and 18 seconds to do a 1.5-mile run. You have 1 minute to do 33 push-ups. You have 1 minute to do 40 sit-ups. Females, 21 to 29, you have 14 minutes and 55 seconds to do a 1.5-mile run. You have 1 minute to do 16 push-ups, and you have 1 minute to do 36 sit-ups. Okay, so whenever you apply, just look at your gender, your age, and then these are what you have to do right now. You're going to be responsible for doing your own count, but somebody's going to make sure that they're standing there making sure that you're not cheating or anything. Right now, how it's going is that if you don't pass, you don't pass. During the COVID, they did let you take it over again. However, now, if you don't pass, you don't pass. You have to go ahead and reapply. So this is the salary. I'm going to go over another salary because this is January 2021. I'm going to go over January 2022 in a second. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. PM. So anytime you want to find out about anything as far as pay rates, everything is under opm.gov, the Office of Personal Management. So you're going to go under salary and wages. Now, let me tell you the difference. For industry operations investigators, this is our pay schedule right here. We are under the general pay schedule. Okay. So you would click on that. I'm in Atlanta, so let me show you what Atlanta was making. So far as when it comes to the salary, let's say this is the general scale right here. This is not the law enforcement pay. So the special agents is on another scale, which I will show you that in a few minutes. This is the industry operations investigative pay scale. 9 times out of 10, either you're going to come in as a GS5. We go on a grade system. So it's 5, 7, and 9. Okay. So it all depends on your experience, your degree. What do you have? We take all majors. It doesn't matter. However, your experience would determine if you're going to be a 5, 7, or 9. So let's say if you come in as a GS5. GS5 step 1 is 38,117. Okay, for right now. Now, remember, I told you you're going to go away for training for 3 months. 3 months you're going to be in training. After your training, you're going to be in OJT, on the job training status, for 2.5 years. So just know each and every year, as long as you get a fully satisfactory on your eval, you will go up to the next grade. So we skip grades. So 1 year, let's say if you started today, which is April 12th. So April 12th, 2022, you're at 38,117. Well, April 12th, 2023, you're going to go down to a GS7, which is going to be 47,216. 2024, you're going to go down to GS9, which is 57,755. 2025, you're going to be in 11. 2026, you're going to be at 12. In 2027, you're going to be at GS13. Okay, so then in 2027, you become a GS13. 2028, instead of you going down to a 14, because 14s and 15s is for supervisors and program managers. So if you still a GS13, that's when you start moving over this way. So you're going to be number 1 for 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13. And then you'll move over this way each year after that. Okay. So this is the pay scale for right now, January 2022. January 2023, you do get a cost of living increase every year, due to the cost of living, and the president may give you a raise every year. Okay, so this would be your step increase. So this year it might be 102, but next year it may be 103. Okay, so it all depends if you get 1%, 2% raise or anything like that. So you'll be GS 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you get to 5 and 6, you have to wait 2 years. And then when you get to 7, 8, 9, and 7, 8, 9, and 10, you got to wait 3 years. Okay, so that's how we do. Now let's look at the pay scale for the law enforcement. This is the law enforcement pay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click Atlanta. You see how the GS5 there is 47,010. Okay, so but this does not include your 25% increase that you do get on top of your pay. Okay, because special agents are what? On call 24 hours. However, because by me being an investigator, my day is up at 4 o'clock. Okay, so 4 o'clock, I'm done. So if my boss need me anytime after 4 o'clock, guess what? I'm getting overtime or I'm getting compensated. I'm getting comp time. Special agents, if they have to go, they have to go. They just make up their time. If they could be out let's say they're in the office, they're typing a report, and their criminal informant might call them and say, hey, I think a gun buy deal is going down now. You would go and you would check out the deal, you would do surveillance, or you might get called out to go and assist on something. We do assist our local and federal agencies all the time. So even though ATF, we don't investigate everything, but if we're needed, we will go out there to come out and help. So they're 5, then they're the same way: 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13. And then you go over this thing, and they are the same way. However, they just got a little bit more pay increase. They got a 2.2 credit because they're law enforcement, and then you get a 25% increase in your paycheck. Okay, let me see here. I know it's a lot that I told you about or anything, but I'm telling you, ATF is like the best kept secret. Okay. What I do want you to know is that I'm going to give you my email address, and contact me. Let me know if you are interested in a special agent or industry operations investigator. It doesn't matter which one. We just had an announcement come out for special agents for graduates, because you can apply 9 months before you're about to graduate. Okay, so we just had 2 announcements to come out. They closed already, but now we're trying to make up the dates for the summertime for new announcements and everything to come out. Okay, um, create an account inside USA Jobs. All federal agencies are doing USA Jobs now. Okay, so go under USA Jobs, create an account, put your name, address. You can put your unofficial transcripts in there right now, because they understand that you are a college student, that you are still in school, and you don't have your official transcripts yet. But make sure all that is in there, because if you contact me, sometimes they might have an announcement come out, and let's say it's out for a week. However, they might just accept the first 500. Guess what? When they hit 500, they shutting it down. So it might be open for like 6 hours, or it may just stay open for 2 days. So if I tell you it's going to open Monday, you might say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and apply Thursday. Well, Thursday may be too late. Okay. So what I like to tell people to do is have all your stuff inside USA Jobs right now. So just in case when there's an announcement to come out, all you have to do is answer the questions and then hit submit. Okay. Put your resume in there. You guys, your resume is real important. I know you guys may not have a lot of experience. However, if you work, I don't care if you picked up trash and organized community leadership and picked up trash on the campus yard. That is some type of job. That is some type of activity. Put that on your resume. That shows dedication. That shows that you are a leader. That shows that you was responsible for a team. If you worked at McDonald's, Blockbuster. Well, I worked at Blockbuster. They closed now. What is it? Netflix, Sprint, Foot Locker. I don't care where you work. You put down everything that you've done from the time you walk in to the time you leave. So you let people know that you're responsible for opening and closing the store. You were responsible for the cashier. For the cash register. The cash register had $2,000 in it a day. You was responsible for conducting inventory of the new Nikes that came in every Tuesday. You was responsible for opening and closing the glass case where the Air Force Ones are. You was responsible for making sure that the area was clean at all times. You dealt with the general public. You dealt with people with diverse backgrounds. You put all that on your resume, because you're going to be competing against other students, and sometimes you might be competing against other students, but some of them might have military experience also. So put everything that you can on your resume. Okay. Now, when you apply, and I tell you that the announcement is out, and you apply on USA Jobs, you got your resume and everything in there. You got your forms in there. I want you to look and see. It's going to be a checklist at the end. If that checklist, if you can't see your documents, the Office of Personal Management cannot see your documents. And then you cannot call them, or you cannot call me, or you can't call our headquarters and say, hey, listen, I just applied for a job. I don't know if my resume was in there. Can you double check and look? They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that at all. What you're going to do is get an email and say, you are not qualified because you don't have the proper documents. So I want to make sure that everything is in there. Okay. Background checks. I want you to know, pull your credit, pull your credit, pull your credit. Make sure that everything is good on there. We all have debt. Okay, there's nothing wrong with having debt. We got student loans, we got houses, we got cars. We have some charge-offs. You know, that Macy's bill you didn't pay off, that T-Mobile because you and your brother's on a family plan and your brother ain't pay his half. Make sure that everything is, at least you are in a payment plan, because something that's $39.99 can hinder you from getting you a career. Okay, because this is more than just a job. This is more these positions that I'm telling you about are more so of a career. Okay, so you want to make sure that's on there. Even though if you do have bad credit, just contact the creditors and say, listen, I'm a college student. I need to get on a payment plan. I don't have the money to pay it right now. Can we work with to pay it off? So they might cut it in half, or they might charge it off, and you might not have to pay anything. However, just go ahead and get it fixed, because the government is going to give you a credit card. Number one, sometimes the credit cards don't have no limit on it, or it has a high limit. They want to make sure you're not going to take that and use that and go pay some bills off because they're giving you a paycheck on it. Also, number two, when we're out and we're doing inspections, you're doing crime scenes or anything like that, there's money and stuff laid around all the time, especially if you're a special agent. If you're a special agent, you are doing drug deals and drug busts because you're working with other agencies. If it's $20,000 on the table and you're in debt, guess what? You might be tempted to take 10,000 of it. So they want to make sure your integrity is there, that you're not going to do that. Okay. And also sometimes, you might get bribed. Sometimes, they might, joke with you, which is the dealers and stuff. They might say, hey, I'll give you to $5,000 if you don't give me a violation or something like that. However, that is still a bribe. You can't take that or anything like that. So you want to make sure that you are in compliance with everything that's going on. Okay. So they want to make sure that you won't do that. Make sure your drug use, hard drugs, cocaine, anything, you're automatically disqualified. Weed, they're working on the drug thing, but however, let you know that weed is still not it's not federally, it's the state law. It's approved state-wise. It's not approved federalized. So it's still against the law, federal wise. Okay. So, but if they ask you while you're doing your polygraph or anything, have you ever smoked weed? Be open and honest about it. Yes, I did. I did it all freshman year. However, I'm in my senior year. I haven't touched it since whatever time this is. Okay, whatever. You don't want to, because you don't want to be under the influence, while you're working with your other partners, when there's something else that's going down, or you're working beside someone that's under the influence that can cloud up your judgment or anything. Okay. When I tell you guys will love this job, as far as being a special agent, as far as being an industry operations investigator, as far as being an intel research specialist. It's so many areas that we do. Now, I know on the video you saw the National Ballistic, the NIBA machine, the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network. Man, that machine is awesome. We take bullets. Now it's starting to get we've had this machine for a long time now, but now it's starting to get well known because now it's starting to collect and go to other crimes. Yes, Ms. McIntosh.
Yeah, I was just piping in because I do believe we have a question in the chat. And so I just wanted to, so Joshua Bolden asked, should you use the resume builder for USA Jobs, or can we use a personally created resume? I know some federal resumes include different info sometimes.
Yes. That resume builder that's inside USA Jobs is the best so far because it lets you write out everything. It lets you, I don't think there's no limit on the characteristics. And listen, let me tell you, for a federal resume, there's no page limit. We don't care if it's 5, 6 pages. We don't care if it's 10 pages. That's why I told you to put everything that you have done. But that federal resume builder, and also OPM, they have webinars and everything on their website. So, by us being recruiters, we really can't look at resumes and say, oh, yeah, do this and do that, because then if you don't get the job, we can get in trouble and say, oh, Sharice told me that my resume was good. Why I didn't get? So, we can't do that. However, I will tell you that resume builder has helped a lot of students when they did apply for the job. So use that resume builder under USA Jobs. Check out their webinar. They have free webinars. They got free classes on there on that USA Jobs network. Just go down to the bottom and take those classes the best way you know how. I think it got interview techniques and everything in there. So just look at those just to give you some ideas. Interviews, guys, look at your panel in the eye. Okay, so when you come to interview with us, you're going to have an observer. You're going to have 3 people sitting on the panel. Once you come in, they're going to ask you a series of questions. So far, it's about 14 questions. Answer the questions. Pay attention. We repeat the question 2 times. If you need for us to repeat it again, that's not a problem. There's no dumb way, no stupid way or anything. If you don't understand, you don't get it, say, hey, kid, listen, can you repeat that for me again? Because sometimes the questions might have 3 or 4 parts. So, but you don't have to have law enforcement experience to answer the questions. This is just all based on life experience. What you're doing, you can use a school situation or anything like that. It's something, they're really simple questions, but it's all about how you answer the question and how you problem solve, judgment, skills, and all that, and how you answer it. Make sure you answer the whole thing, because if you don't answer the whole question, they can't give you, a good score. You might get a 1 out of a 3 because you didn't answer all 3 of the parts. So just listen to the question. Say, hey, listen, can you repeat that again? And just make a mental note. Okay, I got to tell them what happened, what I did, and how it came. So make sure, you listen to the question. Make sure that if you got any questions, go ahead and ask the panel. Hey, this, that, and other, but like, they can't tell you if you passed or not. They can't tell you how they can't tell you how they think that you did or anything. But if you have any questions pertaining to the job, they will be awesome. They will be good to answer the questions for you or anything. Do we have any more questions in there?
He has another question. He states, do the opportunities in Georgia require you to work/live in Atlanta?
Okay, no. So what they're going to do is that they're going to ask you for your wish list. Okay. So once you apply for the job, they're going to have a list of cities. So even though I am in Atlanta and I do handle Atlanta, the Atlanta Field Division, Macon is under Atlanta, Savannah is under Atlanta. So you might go to Macon, you might go to Savannah, you might go to Augusta, you might go to Columbus, but you still fall under the Atlanta Field Division. So it all depends where you're going and what you're going to click on. Now, somebody like, let's say, I guess something like Minnesota. Minnesota might have 1 field division and it might cover 3 states. So you might be traveling a lot. Now, I know Seattle, they travel a lot by plane because they're flying to Hawaii and Guam, because we have offices in Puerto Rico and Guam also. So that we do go out there and we do travel. So it will ask you, but before you do get hired, they will tell you the city and the state that you are in. So if you agree to go to that, if you don't live in that city and state, that first move is on you. So I want to point that out. So if you pick Atlanta and they say, okay, we have Atlanta available, but you got to go down to Savannah, and you agree, you got to go and move to Savannah, because I know you're not going to drive from Atlanta to Savannah every day. So the first move is on you. Once you get in the agency and you apply for certain things, long as there's relocation expenses, or if you have to get voluntold to move with that mobility statement I told you you have to sign, they will pay for it. ATF will pay for your move. Do we have any other questions? And sometimes it's how the announcement is written. It might say special agent announcement for Kansas City area only, or something like that. So if you apply for it, then you know you're going to Kansas City, or it might say Newark, New Jersey. But I can guarantee you, if you apply, we need people at the southwest border or on the west coast. So if you're willing to go to like San Francisco or LA or something like that, I can almost guarantee you that you will get picked, because it's hard to fill in those positions, only because of the cost of living, not because of the job, but just because of the cost of living. So most of the time, people that are from there, they are the ones that apply from there. Do we have any other questions in the chat?
Yes, it looks like Joshua is typing again, so a question might be coming up again shortly.
So, hey, Joshua, if you want to unmute, I don't know if you can unmute, you can ask the question. It's okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so I just had a question, because I know you said that if you live in Atlanta, I live down near Macon area, and so there's an opportunity to do the I'm not really want to do the special agent position, but more of just the other job that you had told me about, the
investigator.
investigator position.
Yes.
How would I go about applying for that?
Yeah, now that one just closed. That one just closed last week. So what you would do is that I'm gonna give you my email address. Email me your resume, and I keep you up abreast of when the announcement is coming out. Because just like I'm doing an information session with you, I do information sessions like 2 to 3 weeks before the announcement comes out. Because I like to tell people about the job, number one. Number two, you know, how to apply. Number three, let them know what to expect. So just like Joshua, if you had a family and you was interested in applying, I'm gonna let you know, hey, talk to your wife because you might have to move, or let her know that you might have to carry a gun, or let her know that you might miss a birthday and you know, an anniversary or something. Not saying that's going to happen often, but sometimes you might. I don't know if you remember 2 Christmases ago, there was a, not this Christmas that just passed, but the Christmas before then, there was a bombing. So our agents had to go, you know, that was Christmas morning. So sometimes you do have to go, but sometimes, you know, you get people to cover for you because we'll have a special agent or industry operations person on call. However, you still might have to go out then. But once you apply, it will let you know the cities that's in there. So it will have a list of cities. So it's either going to tell you to list your top 5, or it's going to have a list of cities and it's going to say pick which one you want.
Okay.
And Macon was on the list. Macon was on the list. So we might have another announcement to come out. What year are you in, Joshua?
Oh, I'm graduating like this semester.
Okay. Perfect. See, and that you could apply 9 months before you graduate. So that position would have been perfect for you. Did you come to the career fair? That was like 2-3 weeks ago.
No, I didn't go to that.
Okay, yeah, I was there. How long ago was that, Miss Heather Monica? That was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I can't remember, but yeah, I was there.
Yeah, March 15th, so it was about a month ago.
Okay, about a month ago. Yes. So I was there, and at that time we did have that announcement open. So you would have been perfect to apply for that. However, just I'm gonna put my thing in the chat so you guys can have it. Hold on, let me see. Okay. I'm putting my email address in the chat right now so you guys can have it. Email me your resume. What I do is that I put it on the list, and anytime we have announcements come out, because I just had a meeting this morning with headquarters, so now they're getting the dates together when the announcements are coming out. So I'm hoping that the next announcement will come out be May or June to come out for both positions and Intel research specialists. They are about to start hiring for that. That comes out far and few because once people get in that position, they don't leave. They stay. You get to work from home, and you know, you work closely with the agents, you work closely with the investigators. Let's say if I'm out, and I have been out several times, and when I show up, the business is closed or I can't find the individual that I need. So I will call our Intel research specialist and say, hey, this is where I'm at. Do you know the last known whereabouts? So what they probably could do is ping his phone or look up the last known address, or I could look up his parents' address or something like that just to find the individual.
And when does that open up?
Okay, like I said, like I said, they don't have the dates yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all coming out soon. So January, February, and March, we had announcements. So now April, they're getting ready. They're doing the dates and stuff now for the summer announcements. Recruits, Atlanta. I'm putting it in right now.
Okay.
So it's Recruit Atlanta. Okay, hold on, wait, that was wrong. There's 2 A's in there. Hold on, Recruit Atlanta. Is it Recruits Atlanta at ATF.gov? Okay, that's it right there. Recruit Atlanta at ATF.gov. That goes straight to me. That's my other email address, Sharice.williams@atf.gov. But that Recruit Atlanta one, send your resumes and any questions when it comes to the job to that one. I check that one on a daily basis. The Sharice.Williams one, like I told you, I'm the training coordinator. I'm still an industry operations investigator. So I still handle things with the media sometimes. So I don't want your emails to get caught up in that. So that's why I created another one for just recruiting. Now, Joshua, did you create a account in USA Jobs yet?
Yeah, I have. I already have an account already in USA Jobs.
Perfect,
I just
perfect. Okay.
yeah, I say that remote seems pretty good. So that
Yes, I'm
tech
telling you, you
jobs.
would really, 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 really enjoy it. Like I said, I've been an IOI for 23 years, and we work closely with the special agents. We work hand in hand. Like I said, the special agents, they handle the criminal side. So if I'm out doing a job and I don't see something right, or somebody tries to come in and pawn a firearm that's like not theirs, or it's like a sawed-off shotgun that's illegal or something, and they don't have the paperwork, a machine gun or something, I'm calling the agents like, hey, something's going on out here, come out here. Or if I'm a female and we have a lot of mom and pop shops here in Georgia. So if I don't feel comfortable or anything like that, I will call one of the agents. Hey, I need for you to go out here with me. And 9 times out of, well, 10 out of 10, they do. They will. And, you know, I'm a female, so I already know I don't go in basements. I don't go in attics or anything like that. Bring everything out in the living room, you know. But if you don't feel comfortable at all, hey, just let them know. It is doable. The balanced life is doable. I had 2 kids. I had a boy and a girl, and I had a husband. So I came home to my husband, and I'm working with ATF, and this is what they said I had to do. And I had to go away for 3 months. So of course, when I came back, my kids, all they knew was McDonald's, Burger King. They didn't know anything. They didn't even know what was a stove. They, you know, daddy didn't cook. Daddy took them, got them Kentucky Fried Chicken every day. You know, but that was like the only downfall. They did come down to visit me. I don't know how Flexi is now. You do. I think they were in a bubble. You can't get off campus. Only the teachers can get off campus. But by the time you guys apply, it might be a little bit different. But when I was down there, we had the cafeteria. You can get off campus. And you know, St. Simon's is an island that's like 20 minutes down the road. Jacksonville is like 40 minutes down the road. So you did have stuff to do on the weekend to get away. Down there at Flexi, you do have to take a test. Our test was every Tuesday. It was on a weekly basis. You had to get an 80. It was multiple choice. You're allowed, if you fail one, you get to take it again. And then if you fail that one, then you're out. You can't fail no more. So you do have to do that. So they do work with you a lot. Trust me. I failed my first test when I was there. I was off by one, and I thought I knew all the parts of the gun. I got one wrong, and my team, it was 48 of us in the classroom, and they just kept quizzing me and quizzing me. And then once I decided to take the test, I said, listen, I'm taking it the next day, because if I failed, I failed, and there's no need for me to go on another week. And my class sat right outside that room while I took the test. All 47 of them, because I made 48, all 47 of them sat in that hallway and waited for me to take the test so we can go out. And then I was graduating because I was done with college, but I was down at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, and I had to beg to take one Monday off because I was walking across that stage, you know, because I did the 5-year plan. You know how it is. You know, sometimes that one semester you might have to sit out. But I did that 5-year plan, and I said, listen, I'm walking across that stage. And I had to beg and plead. I had to write memos. They let me do it. And when I came back, my team was right there. I walked across that stage Monday morning. I was back at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center Monday evening. As I was unloading the car to get back inside my hotel room, a spider bit me, so my foot was swollen. While my team is trying to teach me, but they're trying to take me to the hospital at the same time. But remind you, I already felt one test. I was like, I got to take this test. I went to class the next day, took the test, passed it. As soon as I passed it, I went to the hospital so they could drain my foot out. So let you know that things going to happen. However, there's a good team down there, and the instructors down there are phenomenal. So you will have people that help you. We have a trainer, a firearms instructor down there. Her name is Misty. Oh man, I'm only 4'11", so she's like a little bit taller than me. Maybe she's about 5'1", 5'2". Excellent shooter, and she would teach you, show you the right way to shoot firearms, firearm safety, firearms handling, and all that. So don't worry about not knowing. Even if you do know, and let's say you are in the police academy or something, you still gonna learn ATF way on how to shoot. Do we have any other questions? Richard, do you have any questions? Nakia?
I think that they have already left the room. So.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of information, but I want them to know everything. Let me see. Do you have? Okay. So Joshua, do you have any other questions, or do you think if you go under ATF.gov and you click on careers, you will see all the different careers paths that we have. If you want to take that also, don't just stop with ATF. Apply for everybody, and it doesn't hurt if you apply with ATF and let's say you apply with TSA and you apply with Secret Service. It doesn't affect you if you're in the process with everybody. It doesn't affect you at all. So they just going to ask you, did you apply with anybody else? Where are you at in the status in the process? So just apply for everybody just to get your foot in the door. And then you can always apply and transfer over later.
Yeah. So I do know that when you do apply, there's some jobs that are like open to the public and some that are not.
Right.
Right. And then so those jobs are kind of really competitive. I've applied for jobs at USA jobs before, but I've never ever heard anything back. So I just
yeah.
But
yeah, sometimes it takes a while because the Office of Personal Management does the hiring. So they contract